The first ever Souls-like that I played was Dark Souls 3 back in December of 2021. I absolutely loved playing the game, so I decided to play all the other From Software games. I started off with Elden Ring because it was coming out just a couple of months after I finished Dark Souls 3. Then I moved on to Dark Souls 1 and the Demon Souls remake. As for Sekiro, I started playing, but I didn't like it, so I didn't finish it. And I haven't played Bloodborne because it runs at 30 FPS. But there is one game that I haven't tried yet, Dark Souls 2. The main reason that I haven't played this game is because I've heard a lot of bad things about it, and it's considered not only the black sheep in the Dark Souls trilogy, but just a black sheep in the From Software games in general. But today I decided to actually play the game and form my own opinion and see if I actually like the game or not. First off, during the cutscene, I almost choked to death. After waking from my I decided to make my way up to this very weird looking house, where I meet 3 old ladies that won't shut the fuck up. After coming up with a very funny and original name, I struggled to press OK because the down button on the controller doesn't actually go down. After the old ladies see my very funny and original name, they actually find it funny and original and decide to give me a present.
Here's your reward for sharing. It's a human effigy.
Yo!
As for my character, I decided to create a crazy guy. I chose the warrior class because a big strength number go a bunga bunga, I like big number. And then I chose the life ring because said class doesn't have that much health. Then the ladies kept talking and I got really fed up.
Shut up! Shut up!
I finally could move and I for some reason struggled to open the door and immediately start my first forest fire in about 5 years. After that, I grab my torch and proceed to waste around 5 minutes looking for it, even though it's obviously right there. While fighting my first enemy, I immediately noticed that my sword was broken. I didn't think too much of it because in Dark Souls 1 you also start with a broken sword and get a better one later on, and I thought I would get a better one here. Instead of just walking in the dark, I used my 2 brain cells to actually light the torch. Leaving the cave, I discovered the weirdest backstab animation in any game that I've ever played.
What the fuck?
After going through a fog wall, I immediately go back because I want to explore more, and ended up finding a dude cosplaying a JoJo Part 8 character. After a very productive detour, I decide to go back and immediately get scared because I get souls from nowhere and get scared again and almost die. I then unleash my gamer skills and hit him with a 1, 2, 3, 4 combo. Then when the route was finally clear, the path actually ended up being a dead end. Since there wasn't the way forward, I was looking for the actual path and I found this place to lit up with a torch, and I found this opening to a cavern. At this point I was already thinking that this was gonna be a boss because everything has been leading up to this point, but to my surprise it actually wasn't. After being mesmerized by this place, I decided to talk to the obligatory level up lady, but she didn't say anything useful, but she did give me an Estus flask. Then I went up some stairs and I saw a dude crying, which I immediately ignored just to see the view. I then decided to actually talk to the guy, but while he was talking, I got bored, so I decided to dance. When he finally stopped talking, he asked me if I wanted to join his covenant, which I immediately said yes, because you should always say yes to strangers. Then I saw a big hole with an item on it, and it had a platform, so I put the two together and decided to jump. Then I went into the house to the side, and then I saw a cat and got very excited.
Cat!
She sold me a ring that made it easier for enemies to detect me. Now, I don't know anything about this game, but I'm pretty sure that's not a very good idea. So please tell me if it actually has any usefulness. Then I saw a blacksmith, but then I remembered that I actually need to play the game in order to progress. So I decided to go down this hole with a torch this time. I then opened a chest that has an item called Crimson Parma, and once again I spent like 5 minutes on a menu looking for it, and I never noticed that it was a shield. After giving up looking for it, I opened this contraption, which led me to a place that looked like a sewer. And I really do not like sewer levels in any game, but once again this game surprised me. I then saw this big guy, but before I fought him, I went to the bonfire. While fighting him, I noticed that his moves are very easy to predict, which made the fight easier, but it actually took a lot of time because my sword did barely any damage. When he dies, his model just disappears. I don't know if this is the actual game or the visual mods that I have installed. Then I saw a second dude, which was actually very easy as well, and killed him first try. As I was saying, I killed him first try. Then I killed this dude, and by doing that it activated a lever, which when I pulled it activated something in the distance. At first I thought this was some sort of path or shortcut, which looking back now I was kinda right. Then I see three big fellas, and instead of fighting them all at once, I come up with a plan on fighting them separately. I killed the first one successfully, but unfortunately the other two get alerted, so I used another plan called get the fuck out of there. I decided to go left first because left is always right. Then I grabbed this item and then decided to use the same plan as before to get the fuck out of there because it was getting too crowded. And finally, no more enemies. Oh my god, there's another one. Okay. And there's a dragon. Okay. Where's the pet? Where do I go? While going right this time, this happened. This time I decided to go in sneaky, hoping that they wouldn't notice me, but unfortunately the one in the middle saw me, and subsequently the other two also did, so I once again ran away. I had a brilliant idea to fight them all, which went wonderfully. Then I just decided to run to the fog wall, not thinking too much of it, because this game also has those random fog walls, so it couldn't possibly be a... Shit. The first try didn't go as smoothly as I was hoping to. But then on a second time I noticed that if you just stay behind him, he doesn't have that many attacks that can hit you, but I still died. After that I died a couple of times, so it's a compilation. But on my sixth try, this happened. In case you missed it, I'll play it in slow motion for you. My sword broke on the second to last attack, making now the weapon useless. It was at this point that I had in mind to get new weapons. Even though I did have other weapons, they were worse, and that's not a good sign since the other one was already pretty bad to begin with. I didn't progress much after that. I just got an halberd, which I couldn't even use because of my stats, and I went through this hole, which led me to a bonfire, and I stopped playing the game after that. Overall, my first impressions are that the game has more lows than highs. For example, the enemies felt too easy, even though I died a couple of times, the actual attack pattern felt very simple. Also, another thing are the iframes. I don't know if you guys noticed, but when I rolled, I still got hit. I first thought this was a bug, but I looked more into it and found out that it's an actual feature tied to a statistic called adaptability. Now, I found that very fucking dumb, because none of the games prior or the games after have this feature, and it should just be a staple and something that you just have without even thinking about it. And I also understand why it never got used after this game. One positive though, even though I have visual mods installed, the actual art direction of the game is very good. That was the video, guys. Hopefully you guys liked it. If I ever do a follow-up video, I won't be doing it in this style. I'll be doing a live commentary, and I might actually stream and then edit that stream and turn it into a normal video. So if you guys want to see that follow-up, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, and you can either see the live stream or wait a little bit for the video if you prefer to watch it that way. Okay. Goodbye.